How's it going tonight? It took me long enough to get her here. I hope you weren't waiting too long. Alright. Can you hear me alright? How's it going, Jeff Street? Help me along now.
We're with you. Yay!
I got 3 pages of this, so be comfortable. Sophia. When I first realized that sparks started to fly between us, well, everybody I talked to at church told me you were gay. Which was really confusing at the time. And this is a true story. But that didn't stop me from asking you out. It didn't matter. In fact, if you count time by Goat Walker coffee houses, it was exactly 1.5 years ago tonight that we had our first clumsy, magical, unforgettable date. Aww. Some of our friends here tonight were there, and they have told us how they watched our magnets begin to attract, and they haven't stopped since. I love you, Sophia. 1.5 years ago, on December 12th, 2009, we started to inch closer and closer together, standing right where you're standing now, against the closet door, listening to Charlie weave a Christmas spell over us. It was the birth of our Savior, and it was the birth of our relationship. So I'm up here tonight to tell you that I love you, and happy 1.5-year birthday to us. Oh, and there's one more thing I'm going to try to say, but for that, you're going to have to come up here with me. Alright, I really have a lot more to go, so... okay. You see, I've been trying to find words to tell you something for a long time. And I'm a words man, so I thought for sure I would get this one in the bag. But I didn't quite know how to start. At first, I thought I'd say something like this. If our relationship was a meal, it would be dill pickle Pringles and Twinkies, steak and shrimp with lots of cocktail sauce, sushi, honey milk, bonkers candy. But then I thought, wait, that isn't romantic at all. And it's probably a little confusing too. So then I tried to think about how much I love you and how pumped I am about you and us. And I thought, yeah, if our love had a soundtrack, it would be the most righteous and radical 80s rock ballad ever beheld by humankind, with a whole host of ultimate dope hair thrashing bands spanning across the decades, swirling at our feet, rocking on an eternal super pump hype as we rose ever higher on the perpetually elevating stage, fist pumping with our huge 80s hair and shredding the most heinous riffs the universe has ever witnessed on matching neon 12-string Stratocasters, blazing through the multiple universes by our sheer awesomeness, with all the mighty hosts of heaven's angels as our groupies. Yeah. But even that did not begin to say what I wanted to say. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, you are the realest, sweetest, kindest, gentlest, toughest, most resilient, the silliest, the most fun, most adventurous, the most ninja, most thoughtful, devoted, tender, caring, inspiring, genuine, humble, wise, beautiful, surprising, angelic, wild-like Aslan woman that I could ever have dreamed of. You let me into your children's lives. You have taught me about the difference between trying to be holy and trying to be fully human as God created us to be. You know more Yiddish than anyone I have ever met, and you use it correctly. And she's not even Jewish. You can name all the members of my favorite bands. You laugh at my lame jokes, and sometimes you mean it. I got epic love for you, Sophia. I got epic, chest-pounding, mead-drinking, monster-slaying, Viking love for you. You are a wordsmith. You have the spiritual gift of songwriting. You are a giver, a tither, a fighter, a laugher, a forgiver. You see the best in others. You see the good they do not see or hope for in themselves. I could not ask for a more supportive woman in this world. I have felt more myself than ever before because of the way that you love me. You have helped me remember parts of who I am that had long died. You teach me every day something new about what it means to follow Jesus and what it looks like. Your faith pushes me to pray without limits. You ask for nothing and you give the best you have. You come home from longer, harder days than I do, and your first thought is to come over to my house and ask to rub my feet. You have honored me day after day by throwing yourself into our relationship, even when it hurt. Throwing yourself into growing, and growing together with me. You have honored us by taking every beautiful risk, at every step along the way, holding nothing back, invested in us with abandon. I noticed all of it, Sophia. Thank you so much. The you and me of a year and a half ago would be so proud of who we have grown to become together already. But that is just already. What about our future, Sophia? You and me. Well, I still need more time. More time to try, somehow, to show you how much I love you. How much you mean to me, and how much you are worth. In the beginning, when I started to write this, I wanted to try and capture all that on paper, to sum it up with a spell of well-woven words. But I realized that I may be able to do that with other things, but that the whole reason I am up here tonight is that that cannot be done with words. It's cliche but true. The only way to show you, to even begin to show you how much you are worth and how wildly I love you, is simply to show you. I want to show you. But it's going to take me a long, long time to scratch the surface. I want to run off into the sunset with you and have eternal adventure together forever and ever and ever. So, come with me, Sophia. Let's go together. I love you. I don't know what is ahead, but it's more exciting like that. And I want to do it all with you.
Hey! Woo!
You will always be more than I will ever deserve.